welcome to another episode of Loving Gratitude. How are you? How do you feel? I hope you feel great. You know, yesterday I started reading a new book and it's called The Fourth Wing. I don't know if you ever heard about this book, but it's a fantasy book and I'm super excited already because you know why I started reading this book? Because of my friends. Actually, I stopped reading fantasy books a long time ago, but me and my friends, we founded a book club and I'm super excited because this is so cool, like in the movies, you know, where you have a book club and when you all meet each other and talk about this book or read that book together, and so you're not the only one and you have someone to share the excitement with, or when something bad is happening in the book while you're reading, because you know books are so great. I love books so much and I love reading because you know it's just so so capturing, and like you're watching a movie, but it's way better because it's more intense, because while you're reading those words, you're also feeling, you know, you're also alive in that book, like you are living in that book and you're a part of that book. And yeah, it's very, very cool because especially fantasy books or romance books are very intense for me, and I love it so much because of the experience. So I would definitely recommend you to read books too if you're not reading books. And actually, it's a new goal of mine to read 2 books every month, because before I was reading a book every month or every 2 months because I was not really taking my time to read books, but now it's a new goal to read 2 books each month. It's my 2025 goal. And you know, I even wrote down all of my goals here in my cute little book. Notebook I've received from my friend, and you know, I wrote down for each month some goals, like here, as you can see, January goals, and then I have some goals. And not just that, but I also have a whole page of goals for me for my for this year and also for my whole life, like here, as you can see, yearly goals, and then I have a whole list, and also not just this, but you know, here again. And I like to write down my goals because you know it gives me like an orientation, and not just daily goals, because you know, I also write down my life goals, because what do I want to achieve? What are my goals in life? Like, what do I want to have in my life, or who do I want to become? And I'm writing down everything because I love to write everything down. So I always write everything down. And I also write down my daily goals in my diary, because as you can see, I also always write like to-do lists, and it's also like setting goals. It's also a part of setting goals, and I'm trying to reach as many goals as possible. But reading books are also a part of reaching those goals. I think this book is very thick, and I think I'm gonna need like a whole month for this. So I think it's not gonna be possible for me to read 2 books this month, but it's April, so until this month I already managed to read 2 books each month. Even in January I read 3 books. 3 books. Yeah, I know, it was very nice, but you know, I read short books, so it was manageable. But you know, reading books is actually so important, because in my previous episode I was saying that whatever you consume, you become. So whatever you read, you become. And you know, okay, so fantasy books, they're very nice to read, and they give you a different type of experience, and it's very nice. So I would definitely recommend you the fantasy books. But you know, when I was younger, I was reading more fantasy books, and I stopped reading fantasy books because at some point my mom even said that, Rookie, you need to grow up, you need to read more educational books, because I was so obsessed with fantasy books, especially with dragon books, like fantasy books about dragons and stuff like this. And do you know Eragon? I hope you know, because oh my god, I love, and it has so many parts, and like one book has 600 pages, and I was so obsessed with those books. And yeah, it was actually a gift from my friend. If you're seeing this, Thank you. I love you. Thank you for gifting me those books, because it was a very nice journey. Because reading books, yeah, it's a different type of joy, definitely, and it makes you so happy. And it just takes you with you. Anyways, we're gonna talk about setting goals today and the importance of setting goals, because it's not just about books, but setting goals. And I'm wondering if you also read books, and if it's also your goal to read more books, because we like to procrastinate, and we like to be lazy and be on our phones and be on social media and after school or after work, and we're not really motivated or having the energy to read books, especially in the evening. But it's actually a very nice a very nice habit, especially when you put it down as a routine. Then it really starts working, and it calms you now down, and also helps you with your nervous system, because especially after your stressful work, it really works wonders. So I would definitely recommend you to read books, especially before going to bed, because it really helps you to calm down, and to dive into another world, and it distracts you from your stress and from your life. So it's very nice. So as I said before, it's my goal to read 2 books each month, and of course I have other goals. But every day and every minute is a chance for me to move forward, for me to reach my goals, and to just to be closer to my dreams, because my dreams are divided into goals, because as you saw, I wrote everything down, and the list is huge, and it's never gonna end, and I know this because I know myself. And I think some goals, they seem to be unachievable, because it's huge. Like for example, one goal of mine is to buy a Ferrari. And one goal for this year is to buy myself a Porsche. And I'm still studying, like I'm a student. I don't earn money, but I believe in. I mean, there are no coincidences, but I believe in like wonders, and I believe in unexpected moments. And I think that God loves me, and I love God, and why not, maybe God is ready to send me a Porsche all of a sudden, and out of nowhere. So I really believe this, so why not setting big goals, because the universe is unlimited, the life is unlimited, and the world is yours. And I believe that we have the power to create anything and everything just by believing, because believing in something already changed everything. That's like the very important step of achieving anything in your life. So believe in yourself, believe in your goals, and you can allow yourself to be delusional, because that's okay. I mean, why not, and because you're capable of doing everything. So first of all, why is it important to set goals? You probably have dreams, and you probably have goals in your life, whatever it might be. Maybe like buying yourself a house, or buying yourself a car. It can be also a Porsche. And never set limits, by the way. I don't like limits, like I don't like limiting, and I hate people when they're limiting themselves, or limiting you just because of their own beliefs and whatever. For example, my parents, they were limiting me a lot, and so I broke everything. Like I broke the chains, and I said, hey, no, there are no limits. Limits, they exist only in your head and only in your thoughts, and I don't care whatever anyone says. I'm believing in myself, and for me there's no limits, so I can do it. Okay, so the importance of setting goals. First of all, it gives you clarity and a direction. And so you have a certain orientation, and you know what to do in your daily life, or in your or like implementing some habits in your routines, so you can have a clear direction towards your goals. And it gives you also motivation and drive, because as soon as I write down my goals, I get this motivation and I'm like, oh my God, yeah, let's do this, So I hope it works with you too. And another thing is that it improves your decision making. And about decision making, I'm gonna make another episode because it's so important. Like your decisions, they are influencing your life so much, and they're influencing you and your future so much that it's so important what you think and how you do your decisions, and on what kind of thoughts they're based, because they're creating, they're influencing your whole life. So setting goals, they're improving your decision making, because goals, they help you prioritize your tasks, and then you can also measure your progress, like by setting goals. And then, what I like writing down my goals, or for example my to-do list for the day, and then I like to check it off of my list. Oh my God, it's just so satisfying, that feeling. I don't know if you feel me, but when I do something and then I check it off on my list, I love this so much. Okay, and also it boosts your productivity. A well-defined goal minimizes distractions and increases efficiency. Personal growth, like it helps you with your personal growth. You can have goals based on your personal development or on your financial situation. It doesn't matter, but you can measure your progress and your personal growth, because goals, they push you out of your comfort zone, and it leads you to self-improvement. So also another thing is a sense of accomplishment. Achieving goals brings satisfaction and boosts your confidence, and you will get a better time management. And this is actually very important, especially for me, because I'm the biggest and I'm the best manager, okay? Also, sometimes I'm super lazy, but you know why? Because I want to do everything all at once. So all of a sudden my system shuts down, and then I'm like, oh my God, I don't know what to do anymore. So I'm just completely lazy, like for 1 or 2 days, But usually I'm so busy and I have so many things to do. And there are some days where everything is just all at once, and then it's too much for me, and then I'm like, okay, burnout, stop. alarm, mayday. So I stop doing anything, and then I'm getting into my lazy mode. But of course, you will have a better time management if you set your goals, and especially your daily to-do list, because it helps you a lot. So start working with a list if you're not already working with a list. And last thing, it creates a vision. They give you a long-term perspective and a reason to keep moving forward. And this is very important, actually, because your goals and your dreams, they are your future life. I mean, how do you imagine yourself to be? Like, who do you want to become, and what do you want to have in your life? Materialistic things, or what kind of accomplishments, like personal or psychological, whatever it might be, or financial. You can set your goals, and it helps you with your vision and with your future self, to become your future self. And remember that a goal without a deadline is just a fantasy. So set yourself a deadline, and mark it with a date, And I like to divide my goals. I like to divide them into monthly little goals and then daily little goals, just like I did, for example, with my monthly goal book here. I have my monthly goal book. For every month, I'm writing down my goals, whatever I want to do or what I want to reach or where I want to go, for example. It can be everything, it doesn't matter. And then, I'm writing that down and I'm working towards it, It really has to become my reality, and I have to check it off on my list, because this is, it's just, with discipline and with focus, you can reach that goal. It's very easy, actually. And a goal plus a deadline is an objective. A goal plus a deadline and a plan is the intention, sets the intention. A goal plus deadline plus plan plus consistent action leads you to success. And a personal meaningful goal plus a deadline plus a plan plus a consistent action leads to fulfillment. Remember this. And it will help you a lot, especially when you're focused on a better, like if you're focused on improving your life and yourself, then you should definitely take my advice and yeah, because it will lead you to success. And there is a pyramid of setting goals. So it's divided into some certain sections, and I'm gonna tell you the right order of setting goals. So first of all, how can you do it? So first, think and reflect on whatever goal you have. It can be a goal for the next week or for your life in 10 years. Like, what do you want to achieve in 10 years or 5 years, whatever. Just some goal, a someday goal, and then you can just write down what's the one thing I want to do someday or I want to become someday. And then you can write down your 5 years goals. Like, what is my goal in what do I want to reach in 5 years? Based on my someday goal, what's the one thing I can do in the next 5 years? So how can you reach that goal, that someday goal, in the next 5 years, okay? Then 1 year goal. Based on my 5 year goal is what's the one thing I can do this year? Then divide it into a monthly goal or monthly goals. Based on my 1 year goal, what's the one thing I can do this month? Or not just one thing, or many things, you know? You can choose yourself for yourself, of course. But for me, I set many different goals, because not just one goal, because, you know, that would be a waste of time for me. And okay, monthly goals, then weekly goals, like dividing into weekly goals. Based on my monthly goal, what's the one thing I can do this week? Or what are the things I can do this week to reach my someday goal, you know? And then you turn it into daily goals, like a daily to-do list, as I like to do. And based on my weekly goal, what's the one thing I can do today? And then the last thing is the right now goal. What can I do to reach what can I do today to reach my daily goal? Based on my daily goal, what's the one thing I can do right now? So, you know, use your time, be present, very important, stay focused, and whatever it might distract you. Okay, distractions are okay, but keep them in moderation, because distractions can lead you to procrastination very easily and to depression very easily, because then, you know, your ego, you feed your ego by distractions, you know, and be careful with this, because your ego can lead you to very, 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 very bad situations and conditions. So be careful and be in control of your own self, you know, don't let your ego to be in control of you, but remember to not really move into that negative side, you know. Okay, so there are 7 areas of life for goal setting. It can be your health, about your health or your fitness. For example, exercising consistently, or self-care, journaling. I actually like journaling a lot, and I do this for so many years already, and I have so many journal books already. And yeah, I really like doing this. And or balanced nutrition, whatever you want to eat or whatever you want to cook, like trying out new recipes, healthy recipes. Second would be your career and professional development, skill enhancement, like what skills do you want to have in 5 years, or on your CV, you know. That was very important for me, actually, because my CV is like, yeah, it's very, you know, I could yeah, I could manage to get as so many skills in the last few years. So that's why my CV looks very good right now. So I was very focused on developing my skills and learning new skills and adding skills to my skills, new skills to my skills. So another thing is leadership growth, and yeah, whatever you wanna, for example, where you wanna work or which job you wanna have in 5 years. For example, I used to have a very bad job for so many years, but now I am working towards to get a better job. As you know, I'm not a big fan of working, and I'm not a big fan of getting a job at all, but that's another thing. I'm gonna talk about this next time. Okay, another thing is your personal finance. Do you want to save a specific amount of money, or yeah, investing in stocks or real estate, whatever? How do you want your portfolio to look like? Create and stick to a monthly budget, saving money, or debt reduction. That's also very important, because so many people they have to pay off their debts, and you know, what are you doing for this? How do you manage your money? And another area is personal growth and development. Lifelong learning skills, or you know, experiences, gaining experiences, or attending workshops or seminars on self-improvement. This is something that I really like, but it's of course also very expensive. So yeah, step by step we have to reach our goals and you know, buy those experiences, because you're buying those experiences and you're buying that, especially you know, you're investing, more like investing. Yeah, especially when you invest in a good mentorship, you know, it really changed your life. I can speak from my own experience. Read a certain number of books on personal development, or you can even read fantasy, just like me. But at some point, you know, you really need to grow up and yeah, learn something new. And so that's why you have to read educational books, which is very important. And yeah. Also, recreation and leisure. Travel to a new country or to a new city. Do some city trips. Learn a new hobby such as painting or photography. Participate in a sports league or outdoor activities regularly. Contribution and community involvement. Volunteer at a local charity. Organize a community cleanup event. Mentor a young person or someone in need. And I just absolutely love this, because this is so cool in my opinion, because I really like to do small amount of everything, of each area in my life. And this is actually a very nice balance, and because it keeps me motivated and it keeps me happy, you know, really. And there is another method, it's called SMART goals, and I'm not going to go into deeper into this, but it's first of all specific goal. Then you need to set a measurable goal by using numbers and percentages, or a specific criteria to track progress, whatever. And then it has to be an achievable goal, and also a relevant goal, and a time bound, because set a clear and realistic deadline. As I said, you need a good date where you have to really focus on that goal, because time is running and you really have to use that time to go after your goals, because we have no time to lose. Okay. Another thing is that, by the way, did you already write down your goal list for 2025? I hope you did, because it's already April. And if not, then you're so late, because do it, because you already wasted 4 months, and this is not good. No, 3 months, yeah, sorry. And, you know, time is very, very important. It's very precious. And also, I wrote down, of course, my 2025 list, like I always do this few months before December, or few months before January of the next year. And I'm gonna tell you some examples for your goal list if you don't already have these in your goal list. So as I said before, it can be about personal growth, like reading books or learning a new skill, like cooking or photography or coding, whatever it can be, or like, yeah, also, you know, starting a business, learning a skill to start a new business, or whatever you want in your life. Also meditating or practice mindfulness daily, being present. I think that should be our very, very first goal, you know, to be present and to practice presence. And then it can be about your career or on a professional level, like achieve a promotion or new certification. I must admit that I have a new goal right now. I mean, it's a goal for almost 6 months, and I am about to achieve that goal, and I'm already super happy and super excited because, you know, it took me such a long time, and it took me so many nerves to really to focus on that goal, because I wanted to give up, really. I wanted to give up, and I was about to give up actually, but you know, it's gonna be so worth it. Like everything I went through, it's gonna be so worth it, and I'm so happy, but I'm not gonna share it now because I believe in evil eye, and I'm not sharing everything with everyone, so until it's done, so that's why I'm not gonna tell you now. Anyway, launch or grow a side business, or network with 2 new professionals in your field. For me, it's also a goal to connect with new people, but with people who are really on a professional level, so I can move forward and I can reach my goal faster and better. Okay, financial goals: save 20% of your income, start or grow an investment portfolio, or pay off a specific debt or loan. About health and fitness: exercise at least 4 times a week, or whatever you want, but it's just an example, you know, an idea. Reach and maintain a healthy weight, complete a fitness challenge like a marathon or yoga retreat. Travel and adventure: visit at least 3 new destinations. Go on a solo adventure. By the way, I think I have to do another episode about solo traveling, because I can talk about this so much, and it's absolutely my favorite topic, because it's actually so nice, and yeah, I have so many things to tell you about this, but let me just quickly finish this. Try a unique experience like snorkeling or hot air ballooning. Relationship and social life: create aspirations, home and lifestyle, spirituality and inner peace, fun and bucket list, like go and do your bucket list, whatever. Check off the lists and bullet points of your to-do lists and bucket lists. Okay, that was it from my side. I hope I could give you some cool ideas and inspiration. And remember the importance of setting goals, because without setting goals, you don't have a direction and you will lose your path. So it's very important. Okay, take care of yourself. I'm wishing you a beautiful day. I'm sending you so much love and positivity. Take care of yourself. Have a wonderful day and stay with love and gratitude.